Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here and of this little community here on YouTube. And if you've been here before, welcome back and I hope you're doing well. And if you're new here, welcome, I hope you're doing well. My name is Nicholas and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, crystals and their magical properties, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. So if you're interested in those type of things, you know what to do. Please subscribe, join this amazing community. Now, right now in the channel, I feel very called to talk about philosophy, philosophical subjects. So philosophy is essentially one's ideas, concepts, and lessons what they've learned or thoughts they've got about life. So I feel like sharing them with you to help you in your own spiritual path, your own journey. And also, I'll be doing some readings on the channel as well. But today's video is going to be about how we all make mistakes. Now, really to the cradle to the grave we make mistakes. Now, when we're a child, we're just a newborn baby, we're innocent, we've not fully developed our mind or consciousness. But like, for example, there could be children, like there could be a 5-year-old child and an 8-year-old child and they're like friends, or children playing like football together in the neighbourhood, and then accidentally the ball kicks into someone's car and then damages someone's property. That was not the intention of the children. Their intention was just to play football, but they accidentally damage something. Or they may play they could play tennis, or they could play my message there would be like children could play some type of sport and accidentally they damage someone else's property. Then that's a mistake, it's an accident. And the children, children being children, they'll probably not want to take responsibility for what they've done. They'll probably pass the buck. It'd take a very wise and a very brave child to admit they've done something wrong. And as adults, it's the same story. It takes a very brave person to admit they've made a mistake or they've done something wrong. Now, in life, we all make mistakes. And a mistake is something we do and then we regret it. We regret it afterwards. We do it, we regret it afterwards. But a mistake is just a lesson in disguise. That's all it is. Because there's a lot of things we agree to from my spiritual perspective. Before we come into this life, there's a lot of things we agree to. And we agree to certain things to learn lessons. Or, to learn lessons or to help our soul grow and evolve. But let's say you came into this world and you said to the creator of all living things. Now, when it comes to who created all life, every religion, spiritual philosophy has got different ideas about who the creator is, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's what's right and true for you, because whatever God comes into your life, or in a form that makes sense to you. But let's say before you entered this world, you said, I want to be a very wise person and I want to be a very wise teacher. Okay, you could have agreed to that. So the creator could have said, okay, I'll grant your wish, but for you to be this wise person, you've got to make a lot of mistakes. You've got to experience a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. But these difficult experiences are not to break you. They're to make you stronger and more resilient. And in life, we all make mistakes. Each and every one of us. It's part of the human journey, part of the human experience. And there's things in life that we wish we never done. And it's the same when I started out practicing witchcraft or Wicca, I jumped head into spell work and ritual. And then for a time in my life, I looked at maybe I wish I learned more about grounding, cleansing, and energy sensing, learn some basic practices before just jumping head into spell work. But looking back, would I have changed how things how I got where I went, how I got where I am now. No, because it's our mistakes. It's our mistakes that learn us lessons, encourage us to look at things differently, and it's our mistakes that help us evolve. You know, it's our mistakes that help us evolve, learn, and grow. Because if you never make every mistake in life is a lesson, because you're going to repeat the same mistake if you don't learn from the lesson. Another example of a simple mistake, okay, you could be in a job role, a job position. You're learning. You've got some technology skills, but you're not great with technology, and you were meant to make a worksheet or a spreadsheet on your computer, and this worksheet or spreadsheet is for your boss, or it's for the company you work for, or everybody's to follow that spreadsheet. You tried to make the spreadsheet, but you made a mistake, right? And sometimes with that type of mistake, maybe it's too late to, maybe it can be rectified, that mistake, or maybe it's too late because the sheet's already done and things like that. But what is done can't be undone more often than not, meaning once you make a mistake, it's done. There's no point dwelling on it. There's only a point of admitting you made a mistake, learning from it, and moving forward. Because every mistake we make is a lesson in disguise. And until we learn the mistake, until we learn the lesson from that mistake, we keep learning. Another example of mistakes we make, it could be related to love and romance. Maybe we're not in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically. We don't love ourselves, but yet we expect someone else to fill that emptiness, that void with their love. You know, we expect maybe to love someone, and then for them to love us and to fill that void, when it doesn't work that way. And because we're not in a good headspace or emotional space, light attracts light, so we could attract the wrong type of people. And when we talk about self-love, it's not meaning you love yourself 100%. It's a work in progress self-love. It's something you work on every day. But if you're in a good place in your life, mentally, emotionally, physically, that's going to make you appear. And if you feel open and ready for a new relationship, that's going to make you ready for a new relationship. But let's say you've been in 3 different relationships in the space of, let's say, one relationship lasted for 1.5 years. The other relationship you really tried, it lasted for 3 years. And then another relationship, you had the same problems, because a lot of relationships, when you first meet someone, you find them attractive, you like their energy, but you don't really know them that well, and you just rush in. And relationships that start heavy and quick are fun and enjoyable, but they tend to crash and burn quite quick. So the lesson there would be, in previous relationships, to take your time. Don't rush the relationship. Get to know this person, and it should feel like they're a friend, and of course there's a difference between a friend and a romantic partner, but it should feel like you can trust this person. You've got they're like your friend, but they love you, you love them, and you take your time to really get to know each other. But sometimes in love we can make mistakes. We can rush into a relationship because there's that fire, there's that intensity, but then a couple of months down the line, the spark's not there anymore, and then the relationship crashes and burns. And that's what can happen with a lot of quick relationships. You get involved, and sometimes if there's good chemistry there's a good spark, then yeah, people may have went the wrong way about in the relationship. If both parties love each other really good and there's that fire still there, then the relationship will continue to burn on and work. But more often than not, if a relationship starts very heavy and very intense, very quick, then it tends to crash and burn. So we can make mistakes in every area of our life, but those mistakes are just lessons in disguise. And I would say, when you make a mistake, you're going to beat yourself up and you're going to feel bad, and that's okay. But I would encourage you not to beat yourself up, to write down what you made a mistake today. Where did you make that mistake? Why did you make it? And then what did that mistake teach you? And sometimes it's hard to look at our mistakes, in love and life, and heal from them, but without acknowledgement, because if we deny our fears or insecurities, we deny our mistakes, then those things are still going to hold power over us. So we have to acknowledge when we make a mistake, acknowledge it, and then only by acknowledging the mistake, learning from it, because it's just a lesson in disguise, can we move forward. But I know we don't think that at the time, but I hope this video helps, and that's my message. Whatever mistake we make is a lesson to becoming wiser. A mistake is just a lesson in disguise, and only when you learn from the mistake will you no longer repeat the same mistake. You might repeat another one, but we're here on this earth to learn and grow, and you can't learn and grow from comfort. You can't. That's not to say that you shouldn't enjoy the present moment and create beautiful and magical moments for yourself, and where you, the individual, can't have beautiful and magical moments. But what I mean is, growth doesn't happen in comfort, because shadow work is not easy, and shadow work is essentially, there's different forms, but by and large, shadow work is journal work. It's writing down things that you've went through as a child, things you've went through years ago, things that have happened to you but are not so nice things, and then it's acknowledging what's happened to you as a child or as a teenager, acknowledging that pain, that discomfort, and then it's healing. It's learning to acknowledge it, understand you can't change what happened to you as a teenager, but you can learn from it and heal from it, and acknowledging, and you can't destroy your fears, but by acknowledging the fear, then and facing your fears head on, it no longer has power over you. And mistakes are the same thing. A lot of us, we make them and we feel guilty about them, but it's learn to forgive yourself when you make a mistake. That's letting go of the anger, resentment, understand it's human, and then you learn the lesson from that mistake, and you won't make the same mistake twice, because a mistake is just a lesson in disguise. As always, I hope this video helps, hope it gives you guidance and comfort as well, and help you in your life journey and spiritual journey as well. So until next time, stay safe, stay well, and stay safe, well, and stay wise. And we stay wise by listening to our inner voice and let that guide us. And if you're a practicing witch like me, stay witchy. And also, whatever spiritual path you're on, walk your spiritual path with pride. May meet, may part meet again. Blessed be.